Peace and love, family. Welcome back. Welcome back. If we are meeting for the first time, I am Oshun Yinka, your new favorite womb goddess. I teach the girls how to tap into their goddess energy, heal their wombs naturally, and level up in their femininity to live a life of leisure that they deserve. So, on today, we're going to be talking about confidence, how to be more confident. A lot of times I get the compliment of how authentic I am and how confident I am. And I want to share with you guys today some disclaimers that comes with confidence and actually some practical ways on how to become more confident on your level up journey as you're reinventing yourself, how to be this authentic person and to feel confident as you are transitioning into a person that you've never met before. So if you are struggling with being your most authentic self and standing up for the new you, then keep watching.
Yinka. I'm the spiritual type, and I'm a boss too. I'm a strong black woman. I can teach you femininity, the life of luxury. Come chill with me, and let me show you.
So the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself, what is confidence? How do you define confidence, and what does a confident version of you look like? If you were to be more confident, what would that look like for you on a daily basis? How would your life improve if you were more confident? And also, what has being timid or masking your authenticity, what has that cost you over the years? What is it costing you? Is it your peace? Is it your happiness? Is it your health? Like, what is it costing you by not sticking up for yourself or being your authentic self to the rest of the world? So I want to kind of give you guys the secret of where my confidence comes from. I can't speak for anybody else, but when it comes to the confidence that you see, I always get the compliment of how confident I am and how authentic I am, and I don't really, put too much into it, like too much thought into it. And I always find it funny because I am super introverted, you guys. I am super introverted. I am super shy. I am really, 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 really standoffish. And I've been working on not even using the term introverted, but I'm just using it for lack of better words. But I'm very closed off. Like, you won't really see me often in big crowds or around a lot of people. Frequently, if I'm around a lot of people, 10 times out of 10, I'm working. But on a daily basis, I'm usually by myself or at home 90% of the time. And then the 10% that I'm going out is shopping or with my very select few friends. I'm not on the scene and outside like that at all, you guys. I'm really not. And I think people see me on social media and they see me on my live streams and things like that, and they're like, I love how authentic you are, I love how confident you are. And the secret to that, you guys, is the fact that it's not me. That's not me at all. That is literally, you're seeing me in my element and watching God work through me. I promise you, it is not me. Once I go back to just being myself, I am not the person that you see. Only time you're going to actually see me outside of my ministry, being bubbly and outspoken and things like that, the only time you're going to see me like that is if I really have a connection with you. You're seeing me at an event that's not my event, just out and networking and things like that. I am super shy. I don't speak first. I'll always have a friendly smile and a wave, but I am not that person. I am not the super confident person that you guys think that I am. And I want to give you that disclaimer because that is the step number one of being confident. When you are lacking confidence, it's because of your disbelief in yourself. It's you not having the strength in yourself or the confidence within yourself of thinking you're capable of doing something, thinking that you're worthy of something. And, that's a personal vendetta against yourself. And I'm okay with admitting that because I know that it doesn't hinder me from doing what it is that God wants me to do. If I'm doing anything that I know I'm going to get very anxious about, I stop and I pray and I tell God to use me. I tell God to fill up my vessel, and I tell God to speak through me, to move through me, and to don't let anything of me come out, because if I stand up on that stage, if I get behind that mic, if I get behind this camera, you're going to see nothing but disaster. You're going to see a lot. And you may have, if you see me on live stream, sometimes I am on live. It's not often, but sometimes I do get on live just to be on there chit-chatting with y'all. And I promise you, when you see those lives, the difference between those lives and the lives where it's not me at all is you see a lot of stuttering. You see a lot of me going back and repeating myself and things like that. Like, you see me being anxious. You see me like fidgety and things like that. But when you are seeing me in my element and you're seeing God just move through me, like when I'm in my zone and I'm just channeling, or, I'm just speaking and being given, ministering, you're not going to see the nervous side of me. You're not going to see the insecure side of me. You're going to see God, the God that's in me. And that's the first step. You have to be able to lean on a source that's bigger than yourself. I know that I am nothing without God. So when I take myself out of the picture and say, God, use me, I need to tap into that frequency, then I allow God to come through me. And that is the confidence that you guys see. That is the authenticity that you guys see. It is not on my own accord. If it had anything to do with me, I would be somewhere in a corner, not behind the camera at all. Like, I do not want to be seen. Like, I am definitely someone who can very well be okay with being off the grid, being behind the scenes, not having to be seen at all. But my ministry calls for me to speak. My ministry calls for me to be a leader, to be in the front. And I've accepted that because I had to be able to take down my own will and let God's will be done. So that's the first thing that I'm going to give you guys as how to become more confident, allowing God to move through you. Tip number 2, you have to give yourself permission to be this person. When you are leveling up, when you are becoming this new person, you have to give yourself permission to be reborn. You have to give yourself permission to want it. You have to give yourself permission to have it, and you have to give yourself permission to be it. You deserve everything that you want, everything that you desire, everything that God has promised to you. There is no such thing as that's too much. There's no such thing as I don't need all of that. There's no such thing as any of that, because once you start to tell yourself that maybe I don't need a huge mansion, maybe I don't need all these cars, maybe I don't need to make $100 million, maybe I don't need to have the husband that can do all those things. Like, when you start to limit yourself, you're starting to limit God, because if you saw it and you wanted it, then that means that it was possible. That means that it was a desire of yours. And that means that you also could have it. But when you start to self-sabotage, when you start to have this imposter syndrome, you're not just doing that on your own. You're saying that God is not capable of giving it to you. I was just having this conversation in the hormone challenge, and we were talking about how, we were talking about marriage and how some women want a ring. And it's like, what do you want the ring for? Is it just because society says that's what you do when you're dating somebody for a few years? Like, that's the next step in the journey? Is it because you actually want to be in a marriage? And what does marriage mean to you? Like, what is the reasoning behind that? Are you okay with different dynamics? Are you confident enough to say, okay, well, I don't have to have a ring? And on the flip side of that, are you saying that you don't have to have a ring because you don't think that it's possible to get married? You don't think that nobody's ever going to propose to you? You don't think that nobody ever is going to be faithful? So there's no need into committing in that way. Like, there's polar opposites on each side, but what is your reasoning for whatever it is that you desire? That's going to help you to narrow down what it is that you actually want, because of course you're not going to be confident living somebody else's dream. You have to be in your own lane. You have to be in your own desires. Did God tell you that that was for you? Did God tell you that you needed to be married? Not only to be married, but to that person? Did God tell you that? If not, there's going to be confusion. There's going to be uncertainty. God is not here to confuse you. It's very simple. The path that God has for us is very simple. So when we start to take things into our own hands, we want to go into careers because we want to do it, not because that's in our destiny, but because we want to do it. You're going to not be comfortable in those elements. Back to just what I was saying, as far as like when you guys see me on social media, I tell people all the time, like, I'm so lazy. I'm trying to be more committed and more diligent and more disciplined in my routine and things like that. And people are like, oh, you post so much. And I'm like, that's because I'm doing something that I love. I'm talking about things that I love. I love helping women heal their wombs. I love talking about herbal medicine. I love talking about femininity and tapping into God frequency. I love helping goddesses be goddesses. So when I'm in my element, it's natural for me I could talk about this all day long. You talk about spirituality, we got all day. We got all day to talk about that. But if you're putting me in an environment and you talking about some stocks, you talking about, something that I don't know nothing about, or something that, I might know a little bit about, but I'm not passionate about it, you're going to get a more receptive version of me. I'm now in student mode. I'm just listening. I'm just absorbing, but I'm not as passionate about it. You're not going to see this confident version of me even going back and forth in conversation. Even if I do know a little bit, I'm not going to be ready to just be outspoken about it because that's just not my element. So you have to also have a passion behind those things. So this brings me to the third thing. After you've given yourself permission to be this person that you want to become, you also have to have that passion behind it. What do you need confidence for? Are you trying to be more confident on a job that you're not even supposed to be at? You want to be more confident in a relationship that you're not even supposed to be in? What are you wanting to be confident for? That goes back to the first question of what is it costing you to not be confident? So you should already know what's it costing you, but whatever it is that it's costing you, is that even in alignment? Is that in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to have? And that's a very good thing to see. When we are in our element, when we are on our path of righteousness, in our destiny, going in the way that God wants us to go, there's not going to be that much resistance. There's not going to be that much confusion when we're going on the right path. But when we are out of alignment of what God wants for us, we're going to see a lot of restrictions. We're going to see a lot of confusion. We're going to see a lot of heartbreaks and betrayal and things like that because we're out of alignment with our destiny. So that would be the third thing. You want to make sure that you are in alignment with what you're supposed to be having. You want to be more confident. You want to be more courageous and speak up for something that's not even yours. Like it's something that you shouldn't even be advocating for because it's not your lane. And then the last thing that I want you to do to practically build your confidence is working on your affirmations. So a lot of times we are caught up on the I am mantras. I am confident. I am prosperous. I am wealthy. I am happy. I am whole. I am well. We go on the I am mantras all the time, but we forget that the I am mantras are just for the root chakra. When it comes to fully activating our entire being, you have to make sure that you are aligning all of those chakras to that affirmation. So let's practice it right now. Put your hands in a triangle position. This is the portal. You're going to put this on your womb, and then we're going to go up each chakra all the way up on our chakras. And we're going to say the affirmations that's going to activate the confidence in each one of our chakras. So let's start at the base. I am confident. I feel confident. I do everything with confidence. I love how confident I am. I speak so confidently. I see my confidence. I know I am confident. Ashe. So this is how you want to affirm your confidence. From the root, I am, to the sacral, I feel, to the solar plexus, I do, to the heart, I love, to the throat, I speak, to the third eye, I see, and to the crown, I know. So this is how we activate that confidence throughout our entire being. And just as you breathe through those and continue to go up, you should have felt a sense of elevation. Do those every single rising before you start your day and see how confident you feel throughout the day. Okay, guys, so I hope that this video was helpful for you. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if it was, because it definitely helps with the algorithm, you guys. And if you absolutely loved it, then share it with a friend and hit that subscription button so that you don't miss out on the next one, because there's plenty more videos where this came from. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.
I'm the spiritual type, and I'm a boss too. I'm a strong black woman. I can teach you femininity, the life of luxury. Come chill with me and let me show you. Yinka.